Oh, go.
Ready? Okay. This is the Indiana Bigfoot Research Organization. I'm Leroy Nell, and I'm standing with Derek that travels around the country, staying in different campsites, kind of looking for Bigfoot on his own, doing a lot of research. He stopped by Indiana not really expecting to find anything. Just going to stop by here on his way. Actually got some experiences, and he contacted us today, and hopefully he can share some experience that he's had in the last few days here in the Hoosier National Forest.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's right. I wasn't planning on staying here, and I was coming through because it's a free campsite. When you travel the country a lot, free is always good. I was actually stopping through on my way to land between the lakes, and I was just going to stay for a few days. I was actually inside playing video games, and I heard this howl that I did end up recording. Of course, I didn't get the first couple of howls, but by the time I got my camera on and came outside, they were still going on. I actually got quite a while. The howls lasted for a while. That intrigued me. I ended up staying, deciding to stay for a while, and after that, I didn't experience much after that for a few days, and I go on a lot of night hikes, and me and my dog were going on a night hike. I usually take my dog everywhere with me, and we were coming off of a trail, and I was actually walking on the road right out front here, but way down there, or by this little pond, and I started hearing something paralleling me on the side, and I've done this for a little while, and I kind of thought what it might be, so I went to grab my night vision. My night vision was dead because it was later in the evening. I was gone for a few hours, and I've used it. So I grabbed my phone to record at least the sounds. It was too dark. The moon was bright enough where I didn't have to pack a flashlight, and I started recording with my phone, and at least you could get the sound. I could hear something coming on. It would have been my right side, and then I started hearing something on the other side of me, and by the time I walked back to camp, that's when the experiences really started happening. It was it was almost every night after that. A lot of it was just real subtle stuff. If you were just out here camping, you would have never noticed unless you were, kind of hyper vigilant, which I know you have to be careful of that stuff. Sometimes you can be too hyper vigilant. But what I would do is I would hear something moving. There's a little gully that comes right. This is my camp right here. There's a little gully that goes right down in here, and it drops off pretty far actually. And I would start hearing something walk down in this little gully. And it was real methodical the way it did walk. For one, it like when the wind blew, you would hear steps, and then it would stop, and then you would hear steps as soon as the wind blew again, and then you could hear it get closer. I mean, it was like trying to camouflage itself, its sound, and I kind of got pretty excited. I thought, oh, this is pretty cool, and I recorded that. I have them sounds. The next day, I believe it was the next day. It might have been 2 days. I've been out here for about a month, so it kind of all runs together after a while. But I was actually on the front working on my RV. I started hearing this rock clacking. Well, I keep a camera in my pocket at all times, so I pulled my camera out, and I actually got the rock clacking on tape. And I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, you gotta have thumbs to clack rocks together. There's not any, big bodies of water where it could have been otters. I guess it could have been a hunter using the plastic horns. But that's not what I thought it was. It could be though. So I think the next, other than that, and seeing shadows and seeing stuff move around and hearing stuff move around, I guess the next big thing that happened was the eye shine. And what happened was I was sitting out here. That was a really active night, and that was actually like 3 nights. It was the night before Thanksgiving. So how many nights ago was that?
3 nights.
3 nights ago. So I was sitting here and I could hear I could hear the same thing. I could hear when the wind blew, I could hear something move. And when the wind blew, it wouldn't move, and it was dry, so the leaves were pretty crunchy. And as soon as the wind would blow, I'd hear it take a couple steps. And then it got it down about right here, and I grabbed actually that camera right there, and I was actually panning back and forth because I was hearing something coming from this side too. I was panning back and forth. My dog was freaking out. My dog wanted nothing to do with it and wanted to go inside, that's kind of a key for me. I actually use my dog like that. He can know things before I do, and he was actually hiding under the RV. So I walk over here, and this tree, you probably can't see it, this tree right here, I start seeing eye shine peek out. I don't think it was this tree though, I think it was down the gully more. I think it was behind, there's another tree behind it. I start seeing a little tree peeker where the eyes start poking out at me, and I actually have that recorded too. So I watched that for a minute, and I thought, and I started getting the smell, which I've smelled the smell. In fact, it woke me up the one night. It just smelled like rotten meat and dirty sweat socks. I mean, that was and more than the rotten meat, it was dirty sweat socks.
So it smelled like it was really close to you.
It was very close to me, yeah. And so that smell just kind of sent shivers down my spine. So I go, I'm going inside. But when I walked over here, I thought, well, let me try to get it on camera. So I walked over, and then that's when I got that. I don't know what it was. It sounds like a hey, or a moan or something. And it was actually pretty cool. I have that recorded too. And other than that, a lot of the stuff I see is right up here. There's a tree line that's got the sky behind it. You can actually see things move around through here.
Things move through it.
Move through. I can see there. I've seen eye shine back there when I flashed my light. I've seen red eye shine on a night hike. And actually, I thought it was just a regular. I thought it was actually two small animals because they were about this far apart, and they were down. You know, it was down pretty close to the ground until I went by the next day and I seen it was a straight drop off there. That was about a 7-foot drop off. So I still to this day don't know
what that was.
What it was. It could have been something standing by that drop off. And I'm not, you know, I know what I think it is. None of the stuff's definitive. The howls are, you know, and I've said that from the beginning. You know, for one, I try to stay really skeptical because when you're out here by yourself and alone, it's real easy to let your imagination go. Let your imagination go
get to you.
And get to you. So I try to stay very skeptical. Well, last night it was raining really hard, and since I'm out here all the time, I mean, if it's raining, depending on I actually get a lot of activity in the rain, so it depends on how hard it's raining. Well, it was raining pretty hard last night. I had perimeter lights set up around camp. I was inside watching television. I had my generator running, and I have a perimeter light right over here. Well, as I was watching TV through my curtain out of my peripheral, I seen my light go on. Well, it was raining hard enough that I thought, well, it might just have been the rain that set off my perimeter light. It's a motion detection. But I kind of kept it in my peripheral as I was watching TV because of the other activity that I've had. And I've seen distinctively 3 shapes go past it, but it was out of my peripheral. And the first thing I thought was, I didn't really see that. So I have a switch in my bathroom where I can turn my generator off. I turned my generator off, which put all lights off inside. I stood by my door with my camera, and and it's frosted. I can't see clearly outside, but I could see enough to where I could see a light if it came on. So I was standing there with my camera. I seen the light came on, and just when I was turning my head, I seen the light come on, and I don't know if it was 3 or 2 things that passed in front. I only seen with my eyes 2, but I thought I seen another one through my peripheral. And I clearly seen shadows, something move past. I mean, this is really close to my camp.
I'll say that's what, within 30 feet of your camper?
Yeah, I mean, this is really close to my camp. They were moving very fast. I flung my RV door open with that camera right there, and I looked down, and they were moving so fast it was already gone. The next day you can actually see paths where they've cut up around here. Actually, after that I came outside, and this is what kind of freaked me out, is I wondered why my other perimeter lights didn't go off. So I walked around, and I didn't even know this one was smashed over here. I walked over and I seen this one was smashed. It was on this tree right here, and I didn't even find the main part of it until this morning. I just seen the one battery and a broken piece of the plastic cover sitting on the ground in front of me, and that's when this smell hit me. Instantly, I was scared, and I don't usually get scared doing this. I retreated back into my RV, and I sat there for the rest of the night waiting for my perimeter light to come back on to try to catch it, but that was pretty much it that happened for the night.
You had 2 perimeter lights actually smashed.
I had 2 perimeter lights smashed. Did you see them?
Yes, I did. I seen the one that was over here.
Yeah.
That's just actually smashed.
Well, this one I'm not positive was smashed. I believed it was smashed because that one was smashed. This one I did find a piece of it, but the main thing I haven't found yet.
Oh yeah.
This one I had to look for quite a bit. I had the little piece inside, and so I mean, I'm positive it was smashed, but I just don't have the whole thing to show it was smashed. I don't know.
2 perimeter lights gone.
2 perimeter lights gone. The only 2 that stayed are the ones that are right next to my RV.
Yeah.
Are the only ones that stayed. The ones that are out far enough were the ones that were smashed. Now, I didn't hear them get smashed. It wasn't like a rock hit them, or if they took, a stick or something hit them, or if I don't know how they got smashed. I didn't hear them from inside, and I had my generator off listening, unless it happened before I had my generator off. I don't know.
Yeah.
The next day, now that was kind of an intimidating. The next day I reached out to some Pennsylvania guys. I really like the guys, and I was telling them, I was like, man, I was scared last night. I said, and it's just, I just don't get scared that often. And they reached out to you guys. You guys contacted me, and here we are. I'm really hoping you guys get to experience what I've been experiencing, since
so
I've
do
been
we.
here.
We're actually, that's why we're out here. There's a lot of reports that come out of this area, but we haven't spent a lot of time out here researching. My wife and I come through here all the time, but not so much at night.
Mm-hmm.
But we've spent some time down in this area.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the areas that we'd like to spend a lot more time in.
Mm-hmm.
And this may
will be on my.
This may push us to spend a lot more time in this area.
Right.
But even while we're standing here talking, and like you said, your imagination can play on you.
Yeah.
But I keep getting a glimpse of something
Moving.
Something glowing
Right over there.
back up the trail.
Yep.
A green. I keep seeing like a green flash of something every once in a while.
No, you're not imagining it. I see it all the time. And then now something else that and that's what I say. And it only happens when I have my fire going. So I don't know if it's eye shine reflecting off the fire. I don't know what it is. But I see it, and it stays right in this area. I'll see it right up here. I'll see it right up here, and I'll see it back there. I have seen it once down here.
Yeah, just while we've been talking, and I'm kind of looking towards the camera, I keep getting a glimpse of some kind of a flash or reflection coming from up that trail.
Yep, I've seen it too. Yeah. And then this morning when I went through, I was hoping I could find prints to cast. I found one print under leaf litter, but as everyone knows, trying to get prints from under leaf litter is rough. Now these looked like huge canine prints with a back. It had like a slender back. It had 4 toe pads, and it had claws that went actually into the ground. You'd seen on each toe pad. Now, did you see it before the lights got too dark?
No, I didn't get to see
Did you see it before the lights got too dark?
No.
It wasn't castable because, like I said, it was under leaf litter. But once I pulled the leaves off, because I mean, you could see the trails where, like I said, where I could see the things passing in front of perimeter light, you could actually, see the trails where they went. You could see, and it's not anywhere a human can go. You go down here, you can go about as far as he went, and that's about it. Other than that, it goes straight down. It's a drop off. I tried taking pictures to show people, but you don't get the depth.
You don't get the depth, and a lot of people think Indiana's flat.
Right? No.
But the area we're in right now is anything but. Yeah,
Mhm.
anything but flat, and we're also in a deeper section of the Hoosier National.
Right.
There's some houses in the distance.
Yeah.
We're probably
During the week, I'm
20
the only
minutes.
one out here.
Yeah, we're probably 20 minutes from any town.
Oh yeah, if not farther.
Yeah, if not a little bit farther.
Actually, Bedford's the closest, and it takes me about 48 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
So we're about 48 minutes away from the town. Well, that's I don't know about the little ones around. So
Yeah. So,
it's out in the middle of nowhere.
well, we appreciate you getting hold of us today and giving us opportunity to come out here and see you.
Yeah,
And we look to find some more. Hopefully, we'll have some more experience tonight, and we'll be able to post some more.
Well, I think if we maybe walk down in pairs down the road, I'm hoping we could get paralleled. That's what started it off for me, and I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah, we'll give
Once
it a
it
try.
gets a little darker, yeah.
Yeah, we'll give it a try. So thanks a lot, and thanks a lot for watching.
Yep, thanks. Let's go ahead and close it.
Down.